What's up, y'all? This is my fourth video. Long break. I took a break, my bad. After 3 videos, look at that, staying consistent as usual. Today I want to talk more. I'm talking a little quieter because mom's out there, don't want to annoy her. But I want to talk about Christian salvation because I go to a Christian school, and I wasn't a Christian before I went to this Christian school. I go to a Christian university, and I wasn't Christian before I came here. I see, I'm still trying, I'm battling, right? I would argue that I don't know what I am. I lean towards Christianity, but I still don't really know what my religion is. I want to talk about a conversation I had with one of my teachers today about salvation, and something that kind of like sparked some thoughts in me. It kind of started with him talking about how all humans are dust and ash when you really look into it, right? So we're comprised of a bunch of atoms, right? Dust and ash, and then we die, go into the dirt, come up as grass, or come up as whatever, right? And that's us, right? In 1,000 years, I'm gonna be dust. I'll probably be less than dust in 1,000 years. And kind of what we're getting at is humans are so connected to their dusty, ashy body, and not God or the divine. And we stay connected through human-made apparatuses. For example, a rock is made by the divine, whatever you want to call it, made by God, but yet it's still a rock, right? It isn't God. It's made by God. It's part of God. It's not God, it's a rock. And humans, right? Made by God, part of God, mirroring God, but aren't God. And so when we start worshiping ourselves by being narcissistic, egotistical, attached to our egos, that is when we're disconnecting from God, because we're only zooming in, right, on this large picture that God has for us. And we're zooming in, right, scrolling past everything, boom, right? We're right there. And we're focusing so much on this one little entity, even though there's all this, focusing so much on this one little entity, ourself, that we lose focus of God, and in other words, the bigger picture, in other words, the universe, meaning we don't feel connected with God, the bigger picture, the universe, making us upset and depressed in our daily life. And no, I'm not saying if you don't believe in God, you are depressed. I'm saying if you move through life worshiping these material things that are big zoom-ins of the big picture, like religion, like yourself, like human beings, then you are losing sight of the bigger picture and losing sight of God, right? And so to take it a step further, in a book I'm reading called Cosmic Consciousness, the author is, can't remember, I think it starts with a J. I'll link it in this video. It's saying that it's a theory, everything is one, like everything is one, right? Like what I was kind of explaining God being earlier, the big picture, everything is one. This side, end of the universe, whatever that is, maybe it's eternal, so eternal universe, everything in this eternal universe is still connected, right? This part is still connected to this part with all this stuff in between, right? And it has a creative aspect to it. And if you want to argue that, you can look at the sky and see beautifulness. And you can say that's random, but it's also randomly creative. And it has a creative aspect to it. And this creative aspect of the universe, of the wholeness of God, created humans, right? It came together through all these processes, Big Bang, whatever you want to call it, and came together, created life on Earth. This whole process happened, and then eventually led to life coming on Earth. and blossoming into humans, and blossoming into the perfect body where it can express itself. And it doesn't have a voice. The universe can't talk, but now it zoomed in onto us, and now it can talk through us. It can communicate creatively through us, right? Humans have evolved the most out of other things, unless you want to argue it, to have intelligence and creativity. That's a bold assumption, but we have to use that assumption. Humans have that creativity to even conceptualize God, and we have that creativity to conceptualize the beauty, perfection, and oneness of this universe. And so we all feel it. We all see it, right? If you think deeply about any subject, you'll kind of come close to what God is. Like, what is basketball? It's a game. What is a game? It's a thing humans do to produce happiness and enjoyment. What is happiness and enjoyment? Well, that's contentment. What is contentment? Being accepting in your current situation. What is being accepting in your current situation? It's loving and embracing your current situation. And what even is your current situation that you're embracing? It's wherever you're in. What are you in? Wherever this sport game is being played, which is within the universe. So you're loving the universe. And it's always kind of coming back to that. But humans we don't really think that way. We kind of stop quickly, right? I love basketball because I'm a basketball player. I live in this house. I own this property, meaning I am above this other person who does not own this property. Even though they're still part of this oneness, and they're the same as me, in 1,000 years they're going to be dust, I'm still above this person because I worked harder in my human body. And that isn't the point of what the universe is trying to do for us. The point of what the universe is trying to do for us is to experience itself and figure out what it is. Like, you can't know what something is unless you don't know. You can't know what something is unless you don't really understand what it is, right? Like, obviously, like a chair. You can look at a black thing. This is just basic philosophy. You can look at a black thing with legs and a seat and a back, and you say it's a chair. What makes it a chair? The legs don't make it a chair because the legs are legs. Seat doesn't make it a chair because the seat is a seat. If it has no legs, it's not a chair. The fact that you can sit in it and treat it like a chair makes it a chair. And so the universe is just the oneness and the universe. Meaning there's nobody that's better than anybody because we are all part of the universe. We're just the oneness of the universe. Just because there's some Joe Duggs down here makes $1,000 and Billy over here makes $5, it doesn't mean they're different. They still have that universal, right? They still have that universal, that they are the universe. So why is one better than the other, right? And when you start saying one is better than the other, that's when you start to disconnect from that basic principle that the oneness is all connected and we're all connected. And when you're disconnecting from that principle, that's when you're living within your ego and becoming evil. Or not evil, but you're disconnecting and you're imposing pain upon other beings in this universe because you think you have the right to, which causes distress within you usually. But when you truly understand that human bodies are just made up of dust, and even our thoughts are just made up of dust, they're neurons hitting neurotransmitters, creating that snap second in between, boom, thought, right? And that is dust. When it all fizzles away, that thought, what are those thoughts were still something that mattered. They still happened because we experienced them. They won't be connected so much with the human body because it knows the human body was just something that came out of itself. They won't be connected with that. It'll be connected with what it is, and it is the oneness of the universe. I don't think I explained that properly. I'm going to try to elaborate a little more. So we, the individual, is made by the oneness of the universe. The one consciousness that we established earlier that has a creative aspect to it. And now humans also are expressing that creative aspect. And we are it because we were created from its material and we have it within us, and it created us to express itself. And when we truly understand that, because you'll know when you understand it, you disconnect yourself from whatever like body you're in, because you know that's just a temporary part that was sent by this universe to express itself, and you disconnect yourself from the body and you connect yourself with the real part, the real version of what you are, the universe. Then you are now in salvation. Christianity, salvation. That's the Christianity word for it. Nirvana, enlightenment. And this disconnects you from your body and your thoughts, right? We perceive our thoughts to be reality, which they aren't. Reality is, right? But our thoughts are like kind of putting a brain filter on it, right? We can't see all the colors. So how is what we're seeing truly real? No, we're seeing a filter through our body. And so when we sleep, we're not conscious. Does that mean there's nothing out there? No, we're just asleep. But in our brain, there's nothing out there when you're sleeping. And so if you're so connected to your body, right, when you die and you're so connected to your body, the consciousness within you can only understand through what it experienced in your body. And so now all it knows is death has been taught to me to be nothing. So I died, there's nothing, right? But if you just like when you sleep, you know that when you sleep there's no consciousness. There are possible ways to sleep with consciousness, and that helps the point. There are possible ways to sleep consciously. And so why can't you die consciously, right? And that would be eternal salvation, because you understand that you are part of this universe and you are one and you are the universe, right? And so when your body breaks down, you just go into the universe. You don't break down with your body. You're like, okay, body's gone, I'm going to the universe. Just like when you wake up from sleeping, you're like, okay, I'm done sleeping, time to start my day. Or when you go to sleep and you're completely conscious while sleeping, like I'm lucid dreaming right now, right? I know I'm here. I know I'm here. Completely different reality than what's happening before, but I'm here, right? And that is an important concept to understand. And I want to talk about private property deeper, because I alluded to this in the next video, and how private property strays away from this point. And yeah, I'm gonna stop it there because getting jumbled up. 13 minutes. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please comment any disagreements or things you didn't understand. I definitely didn't explain topics perfectly clear in this video, but this is also for me to kind of get my thoughts together. So yeah, but I still want to hear your guys' thoughts on my thoughts, because this thought popped into my brain while I was playing the Hogwarts game, and I was like, okay, I got to record this, and I'm like, oh, perfect time to make a YouTube video. And I want to upload another one tomorrow talking about private properties in the same sense of this topic, or in the same terms of this topic. Yeah, that's all. I appreciate y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Comment, subscribe, share. Appreciate y'all.